Hello, dear students. This week, as a homework, I wanted you to do page 89 and page 90 from your vocabulary and grammar log. Let's look at the first exercise. Here, we will fill in the blanks with these words. Let's look at the first question. I, you, we, they have, or in negative sentences, haven't, an award. Short form for have is written like this. So how do I write the negative short form? Of course, I write it as haven't. I haven't blah blah an award. I have to put a verb here, a verb 3. I look at it, have, has, won. Which one is a verb 3? Of course, won is verb 3. I haven't won an award. Question part. Has she won an award? And blah blah you won an award. Remember, for I, you, we, they, I always use have. Have you won an award? Yes, I have. Has she won an award? Yes, she has. My all answers are correct. I hope your answers are also correct. Let's look at the second part. In the second part, we will make some sentences using present perfect tense. Let's remember. We will use have or has and the third form of the verbs. But if we don't have any third form, then we will use ed. So let's look at the first question. I blah blah acted in a play. After I, we use have or has. We always use have. So I've acted. Act is not in my list. I put ed. I've acted in a play. You can also say I have acted. This is also correct. Number 2. Susie, the art club, she paints every day after school. So Susie is a she. After she, I use has. And I use the verb 3 form of join, but it's not on my list, so I put ed. Susie has joined the art club. This is correct. Number 3, Derek. Derek is a he, so I use has. Derek has, but this is negative, so let's make it hasn't. What's the third form of win? Win, won, won. Derek hasn't won a swimming race. And the last one, my sisters. Be careful because it says sisters. It means 2 sisters, 3 sisters, or more sisters. Which is it? Which is they. My sister or they have made, remember, have made a lot of new friends. This was the second part. Check your answers and we will continue with the next part. This is a matching part, but please be careful because you know, my screen is most of the time different from your books. So let's see. First question. Have you ridden a horse? I can say yes, I have, or no, I haven't. I'm looking at the options. Yes, I have. Has she gotten a high score on a test? I can say yes, she has, or no, she hasn't. I'm looking at the options. No, she hasn't. What awards have you won? I cannot answer this question with yes or no. I have to find another answer. What awards, what prizes have you won? I'm looking. First prize in a singing contest and a soccer trophy. What have they done? Again, I cannot answer yes or no. I should give a different answer. What have they done? They have ridden a roller coaster. And what countries have you visited? I have only two options, and it's obvious. France and New Zealand. And my last question is, has your brother tried gymnastics? I'm talking about my brother. I will say yes, he has, or no, he hasn't. And here is my answer. Please check your answers, and we will go to the next page. On page 90, we start with making some sentences. So here we are reading about Alex's experiences, and we will make negative or we will make positive sentences. He, let's look at number 1. It's talking about travel to another country, and it's a no, it's a cross, so it will be negative. He hasn't traveled. We put ed. He hasn't traveled to another country. Let's look at number 2. We will start with he or Alex, it doesn't matter. He helps someone else, and it's positive. You see a tick, you see a check mark. He has help. What's the third form? What's verb 3 for help? There is no verb 3, we put ed. He has helped someone else. Let's look at number 3. Watch sports in a stadium. This is a positive sentence. If you see the checking mark, if you see the tick, he has watch. There is no verb 3 for watch. We put ed. He has watched sports in a stadium. Next one. Get a high score on a test. This is also a positive sentence. He, I will write it shortly. Remember, he's or he has. You can also say he has, it's correct. Get, what's the third form of get? You can say got or you can say gotten. They are both correct. He has got a high score on a test. Number 5, climb a tall tree. This is a negative sentence. Please be careful. He, negatives we put not. He hasn't. Climb doesn't have a verb 3. We put ed. He hasn't climbed a tall tree. And we have come to the last sentence. Write a story. Oh, he hasn't written a story. I gave you the answer, but I think it's okay. So we say he, it's negative, hasn't written. Write, wrote, written. Remember the 3 forms. He hasn't written a story. So these are the 6 sentences about Alex. Check your sentences, correct your sentences, and I will move on to the next part of our homework. This is the last part of our homework, and here we will put these sentences into order. I know you don't really like these kind of exercises, but I think you can do it. So let's look at the first one. This is your help. It's a question. Remember, every question in present perfect starts with have or has. So I start, have you? Then I put the verb 3. Have you tried? Have you tried what? Have you tried a new sport? When? This year. Number 2 is a positive sentence. So we start with the person. Who? I've, or I have. I have what? I have verb 3. I have ridden a horse. Number 3. Here we have haven't. So it must be a negative sentence. So I will start with the person. Who is my person? I. Then I put have, has, haven't, hasn't. I haven't. Now verb 3. I haven't gotten a high score on a test. Next is a question. Number 4 is a question. So as I said, questions start with have or has. Here, have. Have. Now the person. Have you? Have you? Now the verb 3. Have you acted in a what? In a school play. Here is my question. Now number 5 is a positive sentence. I start with my person. I've. Remember, this is the short form. You can say I have or I've. I've. Now verb 3. I've read. Read, read, read. They are the same in 3 forms. I've read a lot of books in English. And the last question. This is a very short sentence and it's negative. So I start with the person, I. Now have, has, haven't, hasn't. I haven't won. Won is the 3rd form of win. Win, won. I haven't won a prize. And these are the answers for the last part of your homework. Please check your answers and correct your answers. And if you have any questions, you can ask me in the lesson. I hope to see you in the lesson. Take good care of yourself. Bye.